city tour of Thessaloniki bus tour. Guided.
We are again.
Bus
You can hear me now, right?
tour.
Yeah, microphone perfect. So we left aside some things we're going to see on the top of the tower. To our right hand side, you see that big building over here is the beginning of the university campus of Thessaloniki. Actually, it's my faculty. Over here is where I studied archaeology some centuries ago.
Centuries ago.
Indeed, believe me, it seems to be a dream. And then there's the whole campus going all the way back there. We're going to see it from the top of the tower, or yeah, from the tower. Why? Because although we said in the beginning that Thessaloniki is the second largest city in all, but not when it comes to its uni. We have the largest university of the Balkans. Woohoo! It has 80,000 students studying here. You can understand that that thing actually adds to everyday lively lifestyle of Thessaloniki. It's a really lively and vibrant city, amazing city to be in, because we are by the waterfront. Plus, you saw that the campus is in the city center. It means that you can pretend you come over here to attend your courses, but then you can go out, have coffee, go to bars and everything. It's an amazing place, and all faculties can be found here, from archaeology and foreign languages to medicine, polytechnic schools, and military professions as well. So it's a really nice place. It is called the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. We talked why? Okay, because it is dedicated to our philosopher called Aristotle. And behind the university, on our way towards the university before, it was the International Fair of Thessaloniki, which actually finished last Sunday. So it finished 3 days ago. The International Fair is a big fair that takes place in Thessaloniki every September. A fair means that it's an exhibition, an exposition of many different products, agricultural ones, food, it can be high technology, innovation, cars, travel agencies, you name them. Many things. And it's a really wonderful period to be in Thessaloniki if you want to walk around. If you if you're a bus driver like Yannis, or if you need to go to drive to work, then you want to kill yourself, because the traffic is really big, and it's the period when all students come from their holidays. It's late August, beginning of September, to come here because they take exams. It's exam period. So it's a really chaotic place, but a really lively place as well. It just stopped, finished last Sunday, and it is a period when the Prime Minister visits Thessaloniki and he announces the financial program of next year. So you can understand that it's more like ouch thing, because we come to know all about our taxes and what we need to pay for next year. So it's not always the best period, and there are protests all around Thessaloniki. Now, in front of us, it's the Christian Orthodox cemetery, because now we are going to be driving alongside the eastern walls of the city. The walls were built in 4th century. We're going to see them and we're going to talk more about them. In 5th century after Christ, and all cemeteries back then would be built out of the walls, never inside the walls. It was just Muslims who wanted to have cemeteries and bury some of the most prominent figures in the crossroads. And first time I visited Istanbul or different places, you know, with Muslim countries, I found it really, you know, I got myself by surprise, because it was something, you know, one of a kind. I didn't expect that. For us, all cemeteries should be out of the walls, probably because people are not really familiar with death that much. Okay, so in front of us it's the Christian Orthodox cemetery. Nowadays no one is buried there, but till 1950s there were many prominent Thessalonikians who would be buried there, like poets, writers, industrialists, and all these people. Nowadays it's just a really nice place to walk through. To the right, and now we're going to turn right, going all the way up to that tower with a wonderful view I talked to you about, and you're going to see to your left hand side two different cemeteries, the Protestant one meaning that there were many Protestants living in Thessaloniki, and next to it the Armenian one. I'm going to show them to you. You're going to see that now the street changes. Now it's cobble paved street. It's made of pebbles. We kept the original traditional one, but it's really bad with the bus for the buses. Yanis is commenting here saying that this is the archaeologists' stupid things. Stupid things. He said something worse, but I'm not supposed to say so. It's SCRAP. More. Not SCRAP. More. Archaeologists that. To your left-hand side is the Protestant cemetery, and just next to it is the Armenian one. We had many Armenians here in Thessaloniki from 19th century because they were merchants themselves, so that's why we were in good terms with them. And since Thessaloniki is one of the largest ports of the Mediterranean, that's why they came here to work here. Plus, we are really close to each other because we share the same enemy, Turkey. So both countries hate Turks, unfortunately, so that's why we're really close to each other, Greece and Armenia. And now you're going to see to your left-hand side the walls of the city of Thessaloniki. Wow. They were built in 5th century after Christ by the Emperor Theodosius, who was the emperor who actually fostered Christianity, and he wanted to impose Christianity in the whole place here, and that's why we call them the Theodosian walls. And they were remodeled many times till 15th century. They are really long. They are 8 kilometers long in the whole city of Thessaloniki. Actually, that means that Thessaloniki needed to be protected. That's why they had such long walls. We're going all the way up there to the tower, and you're going to see a wonderful view of the city. Over there, we're going to talk more about the importance of the city. Why? Because Thessaloniki, as we said before, it was built in 315 before Christ, and it has always been a city ever since. It means that it flourished a lot during the whole period, even from the period of Alexander the Great, after his death, of course, Roman period, and then Byzantine period. And then after Byzantine period, it was a central point, a central port for the Ottoman Empire as well. Over there, in the tower, you're going to see why this city has always been so important, where it is built and why it was that important. Because it was a multicultural city. Now, unfortunately, I don't know many things about Philippines, so I don't know if you're really familiar with that multicultural thing, but for instance, the States are multicultural, plus they are intercultural as well. The difference is really huge. The Ottoman Empire, during the Ottoman period empire, the societies were multicultural. It means that there were different ethnic groups, different religions, like Christians, Jewish people, Muslim people, living together, but in different districts. And although they would totally respect each other's religions, they would totally respect each other's language, and they would even visit each other's religious days, they would never get married to each other. Never. If that was the case, then that would be something really rare. But intercultural society like the States or London nowadays, talking about Europe and Americas, are intercultural because people do get married with each other. And over there you can see Indian Jewish people, for instance. For us here it would be something like, really now? Indian Jewish people? How come? It's because people get married to each other. Thessaloniki starts being like this already. It has already started being like this with all these waves of different immigrants we have. Now both sides over here, you see that the architecture totally changed. You see both sides to your right and left, small, humble houses of 2 stories just, of 2 floors just, nothing more. It is because we've already entered the upper town of Thessaloniki. The upper town of Thessaloniki is the most traditional place of Thessaloniki with wonderful view. Thank God these places were saved because the Ministry of Culture intervened, and actually it is totally illegal to build new houses over here. Even the new ones you will build, they will be built on the plans of the old houses. Plus, because the whole place here is on a rock, so you cannot have really deep foundations, so you cannot have big blocks of flats coming out of nowhere like you saw, you know, the rest of the city of Thessaloniki. And we will talk about why the city of Thessaloniki and many Greek cities like Athens as well were built like this, with many blocks, you know, many stories and many floors all around, ugly looking buildings sometimes. Here we are as if we are in the village of Thessaloniki, called the upper town of Thessaloniki, and now we're going to get off and walk around 50 meters, and you're going to enjoy the view from a really wonderful platform. We will take photos and talk, of course, a little bit about Thessaloniki. Let's wait for Yanis to park and we will get off.